Hello guys, welcome back here. So Sheriff here. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through a project that I've been thinking of creating. So this is just basically a very simple hosting a static website on my AWS account. So we are going to use the service which is called S3. So S3 is basically simple storage service. That's why they use it as S3. Okay. So what is, first of all, let's understand what is the S3. So Amazon S3 stands for the simple storage services, and it's basically like having a cloud hard drive where you can upload files, image, code, anything you want to store them, have access to it from everywhere in the world. So that's the reason why, people use S3. But one of the coolest feature, you can actually use it in like hosting like a static website, and that's what we're going to be using for it today. And before we move on, let's try to understand exactly what is a static website. So a static website is made of like a plain HTML and JavaScript file. So it doesn't rely on any database or any server logic, and it's just basically what you build is what the browser shows. So in fast and very secure and super easy to maintain. So like, for example, if you want to build like a project and or documentation, you can use a static website. And for this project, I create a simple homepage called Fall Into Tech, where I will eventually showcase all my home lab project, like my YouTube tutorial and also my Medium blog. I designed with a clean layout and make it very simple and added my logo, and then I will upload everything onto S3 bucket. And from there, I will then enable the static website, hosting everything, and then setting up all the permission, and I will make it also public, and from there, that's what the project that we will work on today. So now what we want to go, what I'm going to do is let me jump on into my AWS console and then walk you guys through the whole process. All right, as you can see here, we are here into my console. Okay, so what you want to do, you want to go ahead and then type, hold on, let me share my screen. All right, as you guys can see, I'm here into my AWS account. So the console is right here. So what you want to do first, you want to go here in the search bar and then you type S3. And as you can see, this is the service that we need today, which is going to be the S3. You click on S3, and then now this is what is going to show first. But for now, let's not worry about anything else here. What we want to do, we want to go ahead and click on create bucket, and then now this is the interface that we have, a lot of information, but I will walk you guys through all of them. Okay. All right, before we move before we do anything here, we want to make sure to check out here where it said United States, Ohio. So this is basically the region that AWS provide for us. Means like those are the locations that are very close to you. So it depends on your location. You can choose any region for your region. For example, for me, I'm gonna leave it as Ohio or Virginia. Those are the two regions that are very close to me. And then now choosing the right region will be a big favor on your side, just because if you store your stuff, you want to make sure that it is located in the location that is very close to you. And when it comes to access to it, the accessibility, how fast, and then latency and all that kind of stuff. That's the reason why you want to make sure that you have the region that is really close to you. So now I'm just going to leave as mine as it is as default. And then now if you live in another location, probably you will definitely choose a region that is really close to you. Right, first here we can leave it at general purpose. We don't have to change it at all. So now we want to go ahead and create bucket name, and mine is going to be, let's see, fall. It's going to be the name of my bucket. And you also want to make sure this is a unique name, and if someone else already had it, it wouldn't go through. So I'm pretty sure that this name that I choose will be unique. Okay, so now you want to choose your name, and here now we are going to choose ACL, enable this one. I know they recommend this one, but this one right here, the reason we choose it is basically you allowing who can have access to the resource that you uploaded. Okay, so that's the reason why that we choose this one here. As you can see, it is recommending to disabling ACL unless you need to control access for each object individually or to have the object written on the data upload, stuff like that. So you can read through it, but we're gonna go ahead and then choose this one right here. Okay, I know generally now people use the bucket policy, as you can see here, that is suggesting us to use bucket policy. But for this video, and then it's someone who's really new into AWS, this is what we're going to use for now. And probably in our in the future video we may go ahead and use bucket policy, but for today's video we're just going to use the ACL. So as you can see here, we're going to leave as objective ownership as the default, just because now here the reason why it's asking about bucket ownership, object ownership, is like he's asking and to make sure that whoever created the bucket, he's the one who's going to own objects that are inside the bucket, or if not, someone else will have access to those. That's the reason why he's asking here, but we're just going to leave it as default, which is going to be bucket owner preferred. Okay, so we're going to leave here as a default, and right here we're going to go ahead and uncheck the block all public access. So basically blocking this, if we leave this one as it is, now we're gonna block everything that coming out to get into our website, and then to have access to it if we leave it on. So now we're gonna go ahead and unblock it right here, uncheck it, and then now we can agree into then acknowledge that the current setting may result in the bucket and the object within becoming public. So we want our bucket to be public. Okay, that's the reason why. So now we can go ahead and enable here the bucket versioning, is just because they want to make sure that when you upload your website and then you have to update it, add new content into it, or add new file, to be able to see the both version, the first one that we had and the second one. And here we can just choose as enable like the bucket. Okay, so now we're going to choose that one, and the rest we can leave it as default from here. All right, now that we are done here, we can go ahead and create our bucket. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead and click on create bucket. Oh, the bucket name must not contain. Okay, so you see, so let me just move, it should be fine now. Okay, so let's go ahead and create tag. Hold on, fall into tag, and then see if it's gonna accept that one. Still content valid. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me leave it as it is for now. Fall into. Okay, let's just leave it like that, just to create the bucket. All right, so now as you can see, we have our bucket here is created. So now let me go ahead and take a screenshot of our first setup. Okay, so this is for my documentation, that's why I'm taking a screenshot. Okay, so I have that screenshot done. All right, so now before uploading our file, so this is exactly what I created. So this is just a simple website to have the HTML here, have the CSS here, and also I have the JavaScript here, which is gonna be very simple. When it's done, you'll be able to see exactly this website. Okay, so now let's go ahead and upload our file into. So now what you want to do, we want to go ahead and click into our bucket here, and as you can see, it gives you option to upload your file. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and then upload our file. So now when you add file, let me just find my file right here. Okay, so basically this is what I need right here, which is gonna be the index file, the index HTML. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add that one, and also we can add the JavaScript and asset. Okay, so now hold on, JavaScript, so let's add these two right here, and we can create upload, and as you can see, we have them, the HTML here, the JavaScript, and also we can add a folder which is going to have our image that we just create, which is going to be our asset. Okay, so click on upload, and it says it's going to bring this pop-up here asking you, so this will upload all file assets. Only do this if you trust the site. Say okay, upload, and then now we have them here, which was our logo that was inside of our asset. Okay, so now we have everything here. Now we have everything. Let's go ahead, click on upload. Okay, and as you can see, it is uploading, and now we have everything done, everything uploaded. Let me go ahead, take a screenshot from here that shows exactly what we uploaded. Okay, so now we have that, and now we can go ahead and click on close. Okay, all right, now that we have everything uploaded, what we have left is to configure our S3 bucket for static website hosting. Make sure that it is visual, like the public can have access to it, they can see the website. So that's the next step that we're going to do, which is going to be step 3. So now when you configure a static website, basically what this service will do is it will take this asset that you have, this file that you have, and then store them into a server, web server. So what is a web server? So web server is basically a computer that will store and deliver a website file that our users have in this S3 bucket here. So that's what basically what is a web server. Okay. All right, here the first configuration we need to do, you want to go to property here, click on properties, and then go all the way down when you say static website hosting, and you click on edit, and then now you will enable here. So you will click on enable, and then here the name will be, of course, index.html. So basically that's the name of the file that I have, which is the name of my HTML. Okay, if you have anything else, you have to put that name here. And now we can go ahead and take a screenshot of what we have here so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and screenshot this part right here, and Yeah, basically that's what we need a screenshot for, so we could. All right, on this process that we do, you may ask yourself, what does a website hosting mean? So basically a website hosting means putting all website files on a server, on a web server, right? Which is a special computer designed to turn those files into website pages that people can visit. Okay, so all the websites that we visit on the internet, like everywhere we go, those websites, they are being hosted somewhere, you know. So that's why we now enabling this website hosting, this static website hosting. So this one is a little bit different than other website that you have to put a lot of files, a lot of, let's say, a lot of document, a lot of pictures and stuff like that. Those is different though. This one is very simple and just gonna be static. Okay, so from here we can go ahead and click on save changes. Okay, so now we already save the change here. All right, as you can see, we are done here. So we have the Bucket website endpoint as here. So we have a URL that we can use to check our website. Let's go ahead and then see exactly what we got so far. And boom, so we have a 403 forbidden code access. So this is something that we need to enable. So we have access denied here. So let's go ahead and figure out what's going on here. So let me just go ahead and take a screenshot on this one right here. So okay, so this means basically the files that we are trying to show you, or the website trying to have access, is private. That's the reason why we're not seeing anything here. So now we have to go back and then make it public. That's the reason why we have this error right here. So let's go ahead and make it public. All right, so now let's try to go back into our bucket. So let's go back here, and then now as we are here, let's go back to our bucket, click on bucket here. Okay, so we're here. So you want to click on the bucket again, and then now you want to come here where it says object. This is what we need here. We are here in our object. Okay, and as we are here, you want to click on name, make sure everything is selected, and then now when everything is selected here, you want to click on action and then go to click on make public using ACL. Okay, there you go. So now it is showing you here that when making public read access is enabled and not blocked by block public access setting, anyone in the world can access specific object, and that's what we need. We want to make sure that people who's outside be able to have access to our website. And then now we have to go ahead and agree into which is going to be make it public here, and we click on make it public. Okay, so now as you can see, we already made it public here. Let's just go ahead and take a screenshot here. There you go. All right, so the next step is to we are going to close here, and then now let's go back to our website, and if everything works fine, we should be able to see our website live and direct. Okay, so let me go ahead and refresh. Boom, there you go. Now we have our website here. Let's make sure that everything works perfect. So you click on YouTube, there you go, it sends you into my YouTube channel, and let's go back and let's click on Medium article. Let's see, now we have my Medium account up and live and direct. From here we have my LinkedIn, there you go, my LinkedIn is up also, everything is coming. There you go, looks like, you know, we got it. There, guys, we already, you know, this is the project that we were doing today, setting up a static website, and then we have it here. It is working perfectly, and you know, I'm glad that I was able to show you guys this process right here. All right, we could go ahead and take a screenshot of our website showing that it came out perfect and fine. Okay, all right, so we got that one done. All right, guys, thank you for being here with me today. So in this video, we were working on through hosting a static website into our AWS account using S3 buckets. Okay, so now I will be making more video when it comes to creating some project into the cloud. So all right, I can't wait to see you guys again into my next project. Thank you, guys.